Hey y'all, it is Glam Rebecca here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my eyebrows, which is why you guys are really close. So if you're interested to hear about like an eyebrow journey and like kind of like a rant kind of thing, then keep watching because that's what this video is. So about a year ago, somebody said to me on Instagram that I need to stop over plucking my eyebrows and I need to let them grow in and use castor oil and this and that and a bunch of other things on my eyebrows in order to help them grow. And then I got this Lily Lash Serum stuff in I think a Trend Mood box, and I was using it on my lashes, and then I also used it on my eyebrows. Well, I didn't really see a whole lot of issues with it like helping with my eyebrows, but I did, or my lashes, but I did notice it made like the front part of my eyebrows a little bit more full. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just continue to, you know, put it on my eyebrows. But then I got thinking about that comment and I took it in a negative light because they were telling me that they didn't like my eyebrows because it wasn't like all the Instagram people, and I don't do much to my brows, so I let them grow out. I've been letting my eyebrows grow since March, actually more like mid-February. It takes 3 to 4 months for eyebrow hairs to naturally grow back in, or at least that's what we were taught in cosmetology school. So when you wax an eyebrow to have it fully grow back, it takes several months for the hairs to recuperate and come back. Now, there's also another myth where you wax, if you wax regularly, like once a month or every 2 weeks, and you're constantly getting the root bulb from the hair, it can actually damage the papillae, which is where, I'll have to like stick a picture up here, but basically you've got this and then the hair root grows up out of it and there's an oil gland attached to it, so it's always constantly feeding the hair, lubricating it, keeping the skin around the hair follicle like moisturized. So the idea is when you're constantly ripping the hair out and when you wax, you usually do get the root of the hair. It's constantly pulling on that papillae and it can cause damage to it, which is why hair stops growing. Or if you are an overplucker, there's a lot of people that stated, oh, I overplucked my eyebrows in like the 90s and 2000s and my eyebrows just never grew back because I overplucked. I never really gave a shit about my eyebrows, to be honest. I've been letting my eyebrows grow in for months because I used to get them waxed when I was in the salon industry. I got them waxed like all the time. And yes, only one of my hands is painted. There's a reason for that. I'm testing out some nail polishes from indie brands and I want to see longevity and all that kind of fun stuff. So yes, only one hand is painted. And they're different nail colors. So I'm going to show you my eyebrows, and then when I just got a card in the mail for a local like lash and brow bar, I'm going to find out if they will let me film in the you know, business and see if they'll let me like interview them, ask them questions, that kind of thing, because I've been out of the industry for a while, so I want a newer take on, there's a bug in my face, on what they do for eyebrows now and see if it's any different than how I was trained. Because when you go to wax or thread or anything like that, of course you have to clean the area, sanitize it. We always put like baby powder down behind the eyebrow hair so that the wax wouldn't damage the skin. On some clients we couldn't even use that. Really, bug? Go away. Bugs, little flies that get in your face drive me insane. So we were always taught, number one, you don't double dip. 2, you do small sections, like you would like comb all the hair up and then you do like this part of the brow right underneath, and you do this part and pull it, and you do this part and pull it, and then you come up here and you do like in here and you pull it. and then you do here, and then here. So there should be 5 actions at least that you do per eyebrow. Well, 5 on one side and 4 on the other. Because you really don't want to do the middle again unless you do like here and then you come back and do this side on the other. And then, you know, you can usually see where you rip it out because it turns red on everybody. So the thing is we learn different techniques between pulling the skin taut and like ripping it, or pulling the skin taut and then you roll it. So you put your hand here, and then as you pull, you grab like the little piece here and you like roll your hand over it. So you're putting pressure on the spot and you're rolling your hand as you're pulling the strip. So, and you have to be like super quick about it. So there was that technique. When I took Depleave training, which is a company for depilatory stuff like, you know, waxing for face and arms and other areas of the body. We learned full body waxing. And when I took that certificate training, we learned a bunch of different techniques. So when you grab it and you just rip, not only are you pulling off like the first dermal layer of the skin, which is why you turn like super red and it's nice and smooth for a while. It's because you've literally removed an entire layer of skin. But there's other areas where, depending on if the wax is too hot, if you've got more wax concentrated in one area than the other, depending on how you rip, the angle, the speed, all that kind of stuff takes into consideration on whether or not you're gonna get more layers of skin off. I have literally watched girls pile on the wax and then go to rip it off and there's like blood coming to the surface. That's always a very bad sign. That means you've gone too deep and you've used too much pressure, too much force, and way too much wax. So I know a lot of waxers and stuff, I would always take like my popsicle sticks and cut them in thirds and then cut them in half. So you've got 6 pieces per popsicle stick. Some people use orange wood sticks because you can use like the one section and then cut it, and then use the next section and cut it, and use the next section and cut it. And you can use the same orange wood stick for one client. You're just cutting it so that you're not re-dipping into the wax pot with a used, you never want to use that, like, ew. And it's not just because you're transferring skin particles and bacteria back into the wax pot. It's really unsanitary. So going back to the salon, I want to find out if they will allow me to film the process of somebody else waxing my eyebrows, because I haven't had them done in ages and I have not plucked them. I have literally left them as is. So I want to see if they'll let me film the process. If they do and they let me interview them and stuff, that would be fantastic. I'm going to have to call and talk to like the manager of the place and find out if they will be willing to do that. If they do, then that would be great, because I figure that would be very educational for people to see the process, hear a professional talk about it, talk about the procedures and what they do and how they do things and why they do things the way that they do. Maybe Georgia has different state laws. I'm familiar with the Florida laws because I was licensed in Florida for almost, you know, it was over a decade. So it's one of those things that I want to see how they do it differently, and then compare and contrast and ask questions as to why they do certain things and that kind of thing. I think that would be really great. Plus, it's a learning experience for me as well. So I'm going to zoom you guys in and show you my actual eyebrows now to show you just what doesn't grow. Because when the person on Instagram came at me and I commented back, and they came back at me and said, well, they would grow if you would leave them alone. So I want to show you what my eyebrows look like. And number one, they are driving me insane. I hate doing makeup, and I'm seeing all these like extra hairs where I don't want them, and I don't like that. I think that looks disgusting. It's a personal preference for me. I don't like it. I don't like seeing all these like little stray hairs and stuff when I go to take photos and stuff. It looks very unkempt. I know it's natural, but I personally do not like the way it looks. And that's a body image issue that I have. Whether or not other people have it, it's on them. I know some people like their brows natural, other people don't. They like to over pluck and then just draw them on. Some people even shave them off. You know, there's a lot of different things that people do with their eyebrows, and that's just not me. So I'm going to zoom you in and show you each eyebrow. And we're in 100% natural light. There's no other light on in this room. So if you look I literally only have a few sparse hairs, and let me like brush these up a little bit. I have a few here on either side. Let me brush this one up. But literally, if I raise my eyebrow, you can see just how sparse it is, but nothing grows in here at all. And I have a little bit of stuff in here. So when the person was like, you need to let your eyebrows grow in because they didn't like where my natural arch is, that's how my eyebrows grow, stupid. Like, what the fuck? Why are you coming at me for my eyebrows? Literally, all I do is clean these up in here. That's it. That's all I ever do when I take care of my eyebrows. I have a couple of blonde ones in there. I have not found a gray one yet. I know one of my friends from YouTube, she's from Wales. She found her first gray one and she had it. It was like super long. And I was like, what? So I don't have any gray yet. So there's a really up close look of my brow. And yes, I have staining on my lid from a Cliona Cosmetics eyeshadow. Let's do the pink on my lid. And then here's this one. Oh wait, I do have a gray one, look. Hey, I just couldn't see it before because in the bathroom it doesn't show up, but look, I got a gray one. Okay, should I pull it out and like frame it from my first gray hair on my eyebrow? Should I? Look at that. I know there's blonde ones intermixed in there though. That's freaking cool. Oh, sorry. Okay, so if you look on this one, I've got like one hair here and there's like two up here. And then the rest of it basically is just these like few, there's like maybe what, 15 hairs total? And the cool gray one. I can officially tell Jason, I got a gray eyebrow here. But see, that's where I would get rid of that anyways, because I wouldn't even see that. But all of this in here, there's like little fine baby ones like this one here. But yeah, so the person on Instagram who was hateful to me about my eyebrows, this is it. This is all grown in. This is as much hair as I get. Literally, these are my freaking eyebrows. I hear the crows out there. Anyways, so this is my like ranty eyebrow video. Let me know what you all think in the comments down below. I know eyebrows are like a preference for people. They frame the face, they make the face look different depending on how you wear them, what you do to them. My eyebrows are, if you look, a little bit lighter than my natural hair color. Let me pull some down straight. And no, my hair isn't colored, it's 100% virgin. I was planning on getting it colored, but then Megan had posted some political views that I do not, I don't jive with, so I really don't want her back in my home. So if you look, my eyebrows, even with the gray in my hair, my eyebrows are still lighter than my hair. And I think that's pretty common for most people to have their hair darker than their eyebrows. So anyways, I'm gonna see, I will probably try and record another clip and let you all know whether or not I can film in the location about the eyebrow wax, but I thought that this would be like an interesting video to talk about. I talked a little bit about waxing, personal preference on like eyebrow cleanup, that kind of thing. A mini rant about the person who went off on me on Instagram about my own eyebrows because they suck. And you know, it's really one of those things I want to leave you guys with is, if you don't like something somebody has on their face, their body, their whatever it is, how they look, that's them. That's their preference. It's depends on, for me, when I hear somebody speak, I go by their words and their actions to make comments on, not the fact that they're fat, because I'm getting fat. Not that they don't pluck their eyebrows, not that they did eyeshadow a way that I didn't like it, not that they were too flamboyant or you didn't like the way that they spoke, or the intonations that they used were something that you didn't jive with. So eyebrows are like that. Everybody's eyebrows are different. They all do different things to people's faces. We all have different face shapes. None of our faces are symmetrical. One is always going to look different than the other, so they shouldn't be perfect anyways. It's just one of those things that people like to nitpick on, and I'm just here to say I hate how my eyebrows look. I want to clean them up because that's my personal preference. But if the next person comes along and they like their natural eyebrows and they think that they're beautiful and they want to wear them how they are, don't shame another person for how they want to naturally look, because that's just not right. So anyways, that's my diatribe over. I am Glam Gamer Rebecca. Jason wants me to go play the V Rising game. I did stream it for about 2 hours yesterday. Somebody said my stream was a little choppy, and I watched it back, but I was also in the game. So I will make sure that I do like a fresh restart and that there's nothing else running other than the game and the app that streams, and we'll go from there if I do it again. So anyways, I will see you all later. Have a fantabulous day or night wherever you are, and don't let some bitch ruin your day about fucking eyebrows, man, because it ruined my day. And I let them do it. That's the problem. I gave them the right to fuck with my brain about my eyebrows. And it's literally been eating me for a year. One small thing, insignificant thing somebody said to me a year ago is still bothering me today. So remember your words when you're talking to people too. I have a very bad habit of just popping off at the mouth, and it's not always nice. So if something somebody said to me on social media has stuck with me for a year, then that's a learning experience for me. And don't let anybody else control how you feel about yourself, because it really only matters how you feel about yourself, not anybody else. And yes, I need to take my own advice. So I will see you all later. Bye. So I wanted to come on here really quick and say, these are my eyebrows today. And this is a photo from January of 2023. This video was initially filmed July 7th of 2022. So I figured I would show you the update. I still have not yet gone to the salon because after this video was filmed, I got fired 3 days later. So, and I was out of work until November. So from basically July 11th till the end of November, I didn't have any work. And there was no point in me going and paying $umpteen to go get my eyebrows done and find out if they'll let me film and all that kind of stuff when I didn't have the income to pay for the service. So maybe in the new year, I will look into getting it done now that I'm working. I start a second job in February. I start training for it the first week of February. And so it's only a temporary, like 3-month position, but you know, that's 3 months of extra income that we can use to help pay down some of our bills. And so that's what I'm worried about right now, not an eyebrow service. I mean, could I do them myself? I could, but to be honest, at this point, I've had my eyebrows natural for so long, I really just don't give a flying fuck anymore about them. And watching this back was kind of funny, especially when I found my gray hair. I totally forgot that I had a gray hair in there, and just my reaction, my first impression reaction of finding that gray hair. I even had Jason come in and watch it with me while I was editing this because I got a chuckle out of that. So ADHD for the win there, and hopefully you guys got a chuckle out of this too. And I will see you all later. Have a fantabulous day or night wherever you are. Bye.